Evening, and thank you for joining us with the Robinson Sports Network. I'm Chris Gay. This is Coach Up. And, Coach, we got Whitehall tonight. So tell me a little bit. I know they have a pretty good offense. They have a pretty good quarterback. Can you tell me a little bit about what we're expecting to see from the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I mean, I think, offensively they're going to spread it around a little bit. Their quarterback's a pretty good athlete, so we've got another phase that we got to worry about there on defense with his legs. I think our biggest thing is just keep playing the way that we want to on defense. We were super frustrated with the way we came out of the second half the other night against Jacksonville, and so we've really challenged our kids to lock in the whole game and not, take a play off or a series off. So.
Well, you guys definitely did not take a playoff early on. I mean, you guys were ultra aggressive in putting up the points in that game, and you really didn't give Jacksonville many opportunities to score, which, they have a decent offense. They have some good playmakers on that side of the ball. And you were telling me a little bit about William Tate. I know that he was, those onside kicks I know are not easy to kick, but he was putting them right on the money.
Yeah, no, like I said, that first one was all him. It wasn't something that was called. He knows that if he gets a certain look with that little short middle that he can take it. And it was a great kick, and we got after it. And then the second one was perfect. We had seen something on film where that guy on the right side kind of drops early. And so, Coach Dunn called it, and it was executed perfectly. That's a huge threat to have a kicker who can kind of put it where we want to. Obviously we didn't really want to put it in the ball kid's hands deep on kickoffs. And Will did a really good job of kicking them to where he couldn't get them. And so, just put their offense deep and make them try to drive it on us.
Now, we got to talk about him every week, but Deuce Williams had another incredible game. And I think this was his fourth game with 3 or more touchdowns, and actually none of them were on special teams or defense. They were all on offense. But can you talk about how I know he's finally getting some recognition around the state? It needs to catch up recruiting-wise, but can you talk about what this kid has done for this program?
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about it with Westmore. He's just a special kid who really loves to compete. He really took it upon himself. It was nothing that we really, said or did, but he wanted to outperform the ball kid, whether that was on offense and defense. And they locked up quite a bit, whether Deuce had the ball or he had the ball. But I think, on his little Instagram post, the last little thing was the Michael Jordan quote, and I took that personally. But that's just who he is, he is very prideful in who he is and how he's been raised. And if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to do something special with it, like you saw in that last touchdown run. We did not block it up very well. I thought our receivers did a good job on the outside when he did the jump cut and got outside. But, he just makes plays every Friday night. And some of that, like the first touchdown, offensive line blocked it up perfectly, untouched. But he just has this, innate ability to just go and compete every Friday night. And just the ability to turn it on when he needs to. And he's just a special kid.
Now, Will and I were talking about this during the Jacksonville game. It just seemed like both Deuce and Mason Ball were just playing with an extra level of physicality. And, those are the 2 best running backs in the conference. I mean, statistically, going into that game, Mason Ball was probably the best. I mean, he had just shy of 700 rushing yards. Deuce, in just all around, was by far the best. Was there anything special that either you, the offensive coordinator, or any of the staff said that, maybe it was like, hey, you're about to play the best running back in 5A or something like that? Anything special to kind of get him going a little bit?
I think that's what makes Deuce special is we don't have to. He knows. He's not a dumb kid. He knows who he's stacked up against. I think, he's a little frustrated right now with where his recruitment is. He's appreciative of the offers he does have, but he knows how good he is, and he knows what he could do at the next level given the opportunities. Hopefully we can get some of these, schools to catch on to that. But like I said, you don't really have to say anything to him. He knows, that, like I talked about last week with that penalty against Lakeside, like he knew right away. He just gets so competitive sometimes that it causes him to do a dumb thing from time to time. But no, I mean, you saw him like the toss sweep to the ball kid. I mean, he's coming flying down from 12 yards off, and he arrived violently, and that's just he he had intentions all night of doing that.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Reese Simpson. I know he probably didn't play like he did against Watson Chapel. No 5-touchdown performance, but he still played within himself and he played well. And I know there's definitely, clearly, an emphasis to get Hakeem Frampton the football. And could we see a little bit more, kind of like what we saw against Watson Chapel, where it was, let's dominate through the air? Could we see that again against the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I think like I said, every week we've got to get better. We've got to get better at the passing game. Hakeem didn't help him out on the one long ball. It hit him in the face mask. He's wide open. Reese throws a good enough ball. And then the pick, he's just trying to get his guy the ball. He doesn't really need to throw across his body, obviously, but he just needs to keep progressing and make sure that he's not putting us in a bad situation.
Now, one group that I'm honestly sorry I haven't talked about enough this year has been the offensive line. I mean, as far as I can tell, you guys haven't given up a sack in who knows how long, or at least not many. Talk about that O-line, because I know against Watson Chapel, you guys were down Patterson, and you had guys that stepped up to the plate and carried you guys to the win.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously the tough position to play because the only time you get acknowledgement is when something bad happens. And, they did give up one sack Friday night against Jacksonville, but that's the first sack since PA, and the other one really wasn't on them. We were playing running a play where we were rolling right, and PA sent a kid off the edge, and Reese got hit before he even knew the guy was coming. So they've done a great job, especially in the pass game, of keeping him clean. You've got obviously Big Pat at left tackle. You got Sheriff Wolf at left guard, C.J. Bryan at center, and then Fisher Taylor at right guard and Jaden Boston at right tackle, and then Peyton Cobb's kind of that sixth man who stepped in that Chapel game, and we've got 2 or 3 others that we're really excited about, and that's kind of what we've been talking about, is just the depth that we have there that we haven't always had. And then we've got 4 or 5 in this 9th grade class that we're really excited about. So we're really, and Pat and CJ are the only 2 seniors. So we feel like next year we can have anywhere from, 8 to 14 linemen that we really like and we're really excited about. And that's a blessing in high school football because, it doesn't seem like, the one position you can never have enough of is linemen. And so really proud of those guys. They take it personal to keep Reese upright and then the run game. So just, they just got to keep playing hard and doing their job.
Now, you got a kind of a long road trip coming up. What, you guys aren't back at home until Halloween, I believe, is the schedule. So, again, you guys were not at home for a week previously. Or, no, not a week, a month previously. So what do you tell your guys whenever they're going on this road trip? They're not coming home for almost a month. What do you tell these guys to just keep them going?
I think if anything, it's let's go ruin somebody else's home game. Let's make it a little personal. And what I've told these guys is our expectation is to win a state title. So let's let these other fans see us play. But it's always good. I'm glad that we've kind of had the other games that we've had. With the construction and stuff we've got going on, we're having to leave super early. And I thought in the Mountain Home scrimmage that kind of messed with us because we had to take 8th through 12th grade at like 2 o'clock, 2:30, and our guys sat forever in a not well air-conditioned building. So I think that was attributed to the way we played a little bit, but they've adjusted really well. We've kind of tweaked our pregame routine. We do an offensive walkthrough, and then we do some band stretches and warm-up stuff, and they've done a really good job with that, just trying to get them off their feet. And then also just give them some downtime. Like when we got to Chapel, we got there about 3:55, and when we got off the bus, I said, y'all just go back to sleep if you want to for a little bit. But they've done a really good job of being mature and handling it. It's always nice to play at home. Our crowds have been awesome for the 3 home games that we've had. Love to get back home for Halloween, but, just a chance for the next 3 weeks to go on the road and keep it going.
Now, one game before we ended here, talk about that Searcy game, because Searcy, and I think that's going to be next week, and they're coming in. They're looking like one of the other great teams in the 5A. And, last year, that was such an interesting game because they came in everybody's talking them up like, oh, this is best offense in the state, this, that, and the other. And then, I don't know, y'all scored 40 in the first half. It was just incredible. Just tell me a little bit about this Searcy team, because they're just a little bit different than they were last year.
Yeah, so I haven't seen just a ton of them. I've watched, I guess, a little bit of their Valley View game. But, I've talked to Coach Clark quite a bit. I know this year they're kind of doing it opposite. They're really good on defense. They got a great front four. Their defensive line is really good, but still obviously very capable on offense. But, we got to focus on, Whitehall and BB before we get to that. But, I imagine by the time we get there, they're going to be, I guess, 7-0 again or 8-0, whichever one it is. And so it's definitely going to be a challenge for us. But, we want to play good football teams. That's why we scheduled the non-conference the way we did. That's why we'll schedule it that way again next year. But, the more we're playing good football teams, the more it's testing us and getting us ready for November.
All right, Coach, I think that's what I have, and we're going to send it right back to the field.
Good evening and welcome to the Robinson Sports Network presented by UAMS Health and by First Community Bank. It is a beautiful night here at Bulldogs Stadium in Whitehall, Arkansas, as your Joe T. Robinson Senators are set to take on the home team of course, the Whitehall Bulldogs in a classic 5A Central showdown between two teams that are pretty well coached. I'm Chris Gay, your play-by-play commentator. We have an old friend joining us on color. It's Jake Hall. You might remember him from last year doing some color. Jake, it's good to have you back, and I know you've been working actually with our rival. I cannot believe it, with our rival, the Maumelle Hornets, this year. But I'm glad you're here with us tonight. But initially, kind of looking over the notes and stuff like that about Robinson, what are you hoping to see tonight in their third straight conference game?
Man, I'm excited to see this team up close in person. I've heard a lot about them. I've seen some film on them, but I haven't seen them in person. And what I'm excited to see is something that I was excited to see last season. I'm ready to see the Deuce Williams show. I'm ready to see him put on a show. Let's see. I want to see a giant TD performance, 3, maybe 4. I want to see this team look put together. And I love, my favorite thing about watching football, I've always been a defensive guy. That's what I love. I love hard hits. I love strong defensive efforts. And that's what I expect to see from this Robinson team. They've been very talented on both sides of the ball and looking like the front runners in the 5A conference right now. So I'm really excited that I get a chance to call these guys this year. I kind of miss being over here, but hey, I just love calling football. I'm glad to be over there on the sidelines for Maumelle Hornets. I know Steve over there on that broadcast has enjoyed having me, and I'm just glad to bounce around. I'm just a bounce around guy here at Natural State Sports.
Well, you're definitely going to see some hard-hitting defense, that's for sure. Of course, they gave up a score last week against Jacksonville, but before that against Whitehall at Whitehall. So the last time they've been down here in Southeast Arkansas, they allowed a goose egg for the Watson Chapel Wildcats. And speaking of Southeast Arkansas teams, we have the Whitehall Bulldogs coming out, getting ready for action. They are hoping for their first victory of the season coming into this year, into this game, 0-5. And here come your Senators coming out on their sideline. But again, this is a battle between a 5-0 and an 0-5 team. May not be on paper the team, a type of matchup that you think is going to be entertaining. But these are two teams that, first of all, Coach Patton talked at the beginning of the year, and he said that this is a team, they played well last year, and this is a culture that's tight-knit. They've gone through a lot of trauma, losing former head coach Ryan Mallett, and after he passed away, and I know they've gone through a lot of other hardships, but football's brought this community together, and they're hoping to finally get a win here on Pink Out Night at Bulldogs Stadium. But again, the Deuce Williams show, it could start early. It looks like the Senators will elect to receive, and as usual, the two Senator returners are Hakeem Frampton and Deuce Williams. Deuce there on the far side, Frampton on the near side, and even Trey Petty there in the middle. And we will see the Whitehall special teams get ready to go out onto the field. But, Jake, once again, when you look at an 0-5 team like the Bulldogs, they need something. They just need something. And if they were able to get a win here tonight in front of this packed crowd, that would be huge.
Absolutely. I think these guys are very resilient. You got to find those little wins inside of the ball game that you can find to build on. Let's go ahead. Oh, they're going to squib it.
It's going to be a short kick, and it's going to be returned. That's Jaden Todd, and he's brought down immediately by a couple of Bulldogs, and so the Senators will have the football right around the 40.
No, I think that's a smart decision. Keep it out of the hands of Deuce Williams. But like you said, this is a winless squad. I know that's tough as a head coach, as a player. That's got to be wearing on your mind, and it can get kind of exhausting week after week. But I have some friends on this coaching staff, and from what they've told me, they've got a lot of fight in them. These kids are very special, and I know that they're not going to come out here and just roll over. They're going to come out here and give them the best effort. I have a lot of faith that Coach Patton and this coaching staff can turn things around at Whitehall. I know this year's been pretty rough so far, but I think they're on the right track, and they're going to get things figured out, and maybe tonight they might find some little wins to get that track started.
Well, they definitely have some pretty good players on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see if they can make some plays. Here's Deuce Williams to start out, and he'll get maybe a 2-yard gain there. Couple of Bulldogs in on the stop, including number 0, Aiden Bitely. So on the far side, Akeem Frampton, looks like that maybe Braylon Brown as the inside receiver. Josiah Warrior, that's Kyron Grimes, number 0. And then Josiah Warrior Benson on the near side. Deuce Williams is, of course, the running back. Reese Simpson coming off a solid game against Jacksonville. Hands off. Deuce up to the left side. He's got a lot of room to run. I don't think they're going to get him to the 20 to 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Senators. Second play of the game.
You know, it's almost inevitable at this point. It is the Deuce Williams show. Number 2 loves to put on a show every time he touches the gridiron, and I'm excited that I get to watch it tonight. It's just a fantastic somebody that you're going to see playing at the next level 100%.
Absolutely. He's picked up several offers. He's got some Division I offers, and now William Tate, who's been very consistent this year, is headed out there to attempt the First Community Bank extra point attempt. Lennox Campos will hold. Snap, kick, up. It's good. So the Senators with the early 7-0 lead, not even a minute into this ball game. And Jake, last week, Robinson decided, let's be really aggressive against the Titans. They had 3 straight onside kicks. And I talked to Coach Updegrove, and he said, and I thought it was a strategy. No, the first one, he gives William Tate a lot of free range and how he kicks, how he does kickoff. So he said that William Tate saw something on special teams, decided that first one, and just do an onside kick. It worked. Second time, it worked again. So the Bulldogs better keep that in mind, that this is a team that is not afraid to do those onside kicks.
When you have a talented defense like the Senators do, you know, why not just kick some onsides, be a little bit unpredictable, especially later on in the season, because when you run in those tough games, you might have to rely on your onside kicks, and it's better to be a little bit unpredictable when it comes to the special teams like that.
Well, exactly right, and they don't usually try to kick it all the way back to the 2 returners. They try to do some squib kicks or something like that. Well, I was wrong there. It does go right back to the returner. The Bulldogs get up to the 20. Clips 1 tackle, and it's going to be taken down at the 25-yard line. That was number... So Wyatt Golden, the quarterback for the Bulldogs.
I'm excited to see this defense being headlined by Mr. Tank Reese. Just a very talented middle linebacker. He is playing tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, Tank's been banged up a little bit, and but he'll be all right. Yeah, William Tate. Oh, William Tate's 99. 98's the backup.
On the left side. Oh, I think I got fooled on that. I'm not sure where that handoff went, but it was swallowed up by that defensive line for the Senators. Nice job.
So we'll be second and long.
That was big. Dominio Patterson in there, along with number 70, Fisher Taylor. The 2 inside guys just plugging up those holes, not giving them any room to run.
I will say Fisher Taylor's had an outstanding year. Of course, he's been really good on that offensive line, stepping up this year. He started a few games last year, but he's been really big on the D-line now. Of course, you remember last year we had a couple pretty good guys on that D-line. In addition to Patterson, well, they graduated. So now they got to find other guys to step up. And once again, the big defensive tackles making a play. Taylor and Patterson once again.
No, in a lot of spots on the Senator team, it seems like they just reloaded. They had so much talent last year, a decent amount of it, a lot of it left, and look at them this year, just as talented, if not more talented. They filled in well, and I'm very impressed by the way these younger kids have stepped up on the offense and defensive side of the ball.
Well, Caleb Doucette was just a monster off the edge.
For sure.
Lennox Campos and Caleb Smith have picked up the pace quite a bit. in his absence after graduating, going to Henderson State. And now Bulldogs on formation and immediately swallowed up again by the Senators. Of course, the two edge rushers, Campos and Smith, right on time, making that play.
Jackson Redmond met him right there at the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go. Nice hit and stuff. Just completely stuffed that run play. Nice job by Mr. Redmond.
Yeah, no surprises to see him making a big play like that. And now the punt unit's on there. Of course, the punter for the Bulldogs is number 18, the quarterback, Wyatt Golden, who was all-conference last year as a punter. Over 40 yards a punt. And he's got a tough assignment to kick to, as that's going to be kind of a shorter punt. It's going to go to Frampton. He's going to take it. He's got no blockers. He's going to reverse field. Oh, could we see a big play here? Frampton, it's risky. Oh, he's got a lot of room to run. He's got a lot of room. 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. No flag. There is a flag down, but as of right now, it is a touchdown. What a return by the Texas A&M commit.
That's going to be that's going to come back. I saw the block in the back about midfield, and I was looking around. And I was like, "Is nobody going to throw the flag right there?" But
okay.
Yeah, but it was a definite block in the back. Hey, still impressive though. I was about to start making the Sports Center sounds because that was an exciting play.
That was, of course, on the scoreboard. They still have it at 13, but the White Hat's about to come to 45. Yep, exactly right. Block in the back. So that touchdown will be wiped off the board, unfortunately. But Hakeem Frampton can still put that on his highlight tape for sure. That was...
Yeah, definitely put that on your highlight tape. If I was Frampton, I would definitely be putting that on my reel for sure. But hey, either way, I'm not upset about it. I've been wanting to see Reese Simpson out here. You know, he didn't get too much playing time last year. So I'm excited to see what he's got in store for us. You said he had a good game last week. This will be my first time laying eyes on him in person.
Well, nothing's better from him than against Watson. Chapel had 5 touchdowns. He had previously, he needed that game to get his confidence up. That was one of the big things that had been discussed. But, of course, giving the ball to the star running back, Deuce Williams, who just will not go down. He won't go down. Oh, my goodness. Deuce Williams, he may go to the house again. Touchdown, Deuce Williams. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You might as well just – oh, man. Wow.
It's runs like that have me wondering, why does this guy not have more offers? He is shaking off tacklers left and right, stiff-arming guys, and he's got this the breakaway speed to take that to the house. That is just an all-around amazing athlete. Very impressed with Deuce Williams. Oh, my gosh, so glad I'm here to see this in person. What did I tell you before the game? That's 2 for the Deuce right there. I'm excited.
William Tate on to kick the First Community Bank extra point attempt. Campos to hold. Snap good. Hold. Kick is up, and it's good. So 14-0. Your Senators on top early once again. And while we have a second, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Let's see who it'll be. It'll be UAMS Health. When orthopedic injuries happen, get expert care now. At UAMS Health Ortho Now, we provide fast, convenient care for all of your orthopedic needs, from sports injuries to joint pain and beyond. No appointment needed. Walk in for immediate care, get on-site x-rays, and see the best in orthopedic care all in one place. Ortho Now is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon. Conveniently located at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. Don't wait in pain. Walk in today. For more information, call 501-686-TOSH. That's 501-686-8674. And I just now thought of it. There's only been 3 offensive plays run by the Senators. 2 of them have been Deuce Williams touchdowns.
Yeah,
all of them have been Deuce Williams touches, though.
Right. It's hard not to just give the ball to your best athlete, and that's Mr. Deuce Williams. It seems like when he touches the ball, magic happens. And as a coach, what more can you ask for? It's kind of hard to call anything else.
Well, I know one of the biggest names in the NFL right now is Cam Scadaboo, and honestly, that kind of looked like Scadaboo on that last run.
I agree.
Now, The only difference is Deuce Williams did not use his head to move a guy out of the way.
True.
So, but still, I mean, that the ability, not only does he have the breakaway speed, but the ability to just shake off defenders is so important, and especially in this tough and physical conference. But we'll see what the Bulldogs have in store here. Of course, quickly, and not even 4 minutes into the ball game, down by 2 scores. But Wyatt Golden, pretty solid quarterback, had 14 touchdowns last year, and they're hoping for him to kind of have his breakout performance here tonight. Shotgun formation for the Bulldogs. Golden, he's got time over the middle and broken up. Great pass breakup by Jaden Todd.
This is a nice job by Jaden Todd, a guy that I think mostly for his offense, but he's very talented on the defensive side of the ball. Something tells me that the Bulldogs are going to be trying to throw the ball down the field a lot tonight, so we might be saying his name quite often on the defensive side of the ball.
And I would keep an eye on number 11 on the near side. Kel McIntyre was an all-conference receiver last year, and one of his best games so far this year was against Sheridan in a loss, as that ball is going to go to the running back and goes backwards for a loss right there. But McIntyre, 3 touchdowns in that Sheridan game, so they're hoping again for a big performance from him.
That tackle right there in the backfield, that was from Mr. Lennox Campos and the Tulsa commit, Dominio Patterson. You know, last year, I remember when we were calling games together, we started saying Lennox Campos a lot more later on into the season, and you can see why he had the starting talent, and now we see him there. Now that Doucette is no longer there, he's shining for sure.
Absolutely, and I know I wasn't there for that game, but the BBB, oh my goodness, the BB game last year was big, as Golden just had to throw that one away and brings up 4th down. But he had his breakout performance. I think he had like 5 sacks or something like that. But, I mean, it was bound to happen, and so far he's been really solid, great on the tackle and containing the quarterback. They don't get to the quarterback a ton, at least not so far, but they definitely get to the running backs early in the backfield. Golden, once again, will have to punt this football away.
Something tells me that they're going to try to make sure they get it into Frampton's hand. Even though it's not much better.
No.
It's kind of
it's pick your poison.
Yeah, pick your poison. I think they can both hurt you with their legs. So
that's going to be kind of a ugly punt. It's going to bounce. Deuce is going to pick it up. He's going to follow a block by Frampton. Deuce has got some room to run. Deuce, oh my goodness, Deuce Williams, he's stumbling, and he's finally brought down around the 34, 35-yard line. I don't think they would have caught him if he hadn't tripped over somebody's foot. But the Senators will have excellent field position on their 3rd offensive possession of the ball game. Do you think we finally see a passing play here?
You know, it's a possibility. Something tells me if you see a passing play, it might be going to Deuce Williams, but
that's probably fair.
But I'd love to see a passing play. I'm very, you know, it's not just Deuce Williams. I mean, this offensive line is a force. They're creating some holes and getting some good blocks downfield for Deuce to find lanes.
And Bryshun Cunningham is the running back out there. Simpson will throw. Simpson, oh, he's got him downfield. Touchdown, Senators. Oh, we knew it. That is Hakeem Frampton finding the end zone for the 3rd Senator touchdown. What an offensive onslaught.
I mean, how can you not be impressed with this offense? Just how many plays is that now that has been –
It's been 4 offensive plays.
I think it might have been just 4 offensive plays, resulting in 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. Oh my God.
That's incredible. I don't know if I've seen an offense performance quite like this before.
And that's the first guy other than Deuce Williams to touch the football right there. Of course, the time that he's off the field, they still give it to a dynamic playmaker in Hakeem Frampton. Just my goodness. Snap is good, kick is up, and it's good. And your score's 21-0. There are still 6 minutes left to play in the first quarter of this ball game. And, of course, that Senator defense is going to try to make it a third straight 3-and-out for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the defensive line is winning the battle up front for the Senators, and it's giving the Bulldogs a lot of trouble. You've got to figure out a way to overcome that, and I think what you have to do at this point is you have to rely on your quarterback to make some throws. If you're Coach Darryl Patton, that's what you got. That's what you have to rely on. If you don't rely on that, they're just going to keep stuff in the run every single time. If you can get a couple successful pass plays together, then you can maybe get them to start thinking pass, and it might open up a little bit more, a couple more lanes for the run game. But I mean, that's the only. I'm just spitballing here, trying to figure out ways that maybe Darryl Patton might be trying to get his team back on track for this ball game.
Well, obviously the running game has been going backwards so far. I think maybe they've had a 2-yard rush, and that's the most yards they've gained. And Golden's only thrown 2 passes. I think, like you said, they need to give him the football. It's a guy that was 139 of 175 last year, about 1,700 passing yards, 14 passing touchdowns. Give him the football. Let him have free range here, because now you're down 3 scores. You got to make a change. It's not like you can just say we'll make changes into halftime. No, halftime you're probably going to be down by, at this rate, probably by 40. So, I mean, make the changes right now.
Hey, I wanted to bring this up just after that kickoff. I was looking at that. This might be a hot take, but I think I like the NFL's version of the kickoff better now. It's grown on me. I think I enjoy that more. I think it creates more action type plays, and I think it's obviously safer for the players. So I think all around, I think we'll see most levels of football start transitioning to that soon. Yeah,
eventually. Of course, usually it's college, then it's high school. Actually, it's going to be a big time run play here. That's going to be Xavier Wallace, the senior, fooling everybody. And will that be enough for a first? No, it will be. Actually, yes, it will be. So that will be a UAMS first down, as they will get that football up to the 31.
What type of formation is that? I'm not even sure if I know the name of that type of formation.
I'm not sure either. Worked that time. Of course, Senators have been stopping it so far tonight.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a handoff again to the running back. He's undercut quickly. I believe that was Deuce Williams making the tackle right there, and that was number 26, Braylon Gaston. Primarily plays on that defensive front, but got some talent at running back as well.
Don't look now, but the Bulldogs might have something working for him. Give the big man the rock and let him tote it downfield.
Absolutely, in that backfield, they have 3 different running backs, including Xavier Wallace, who had the first down carry, and then Gaston, who had that 8-yard carry just a moment ago. And it's going to be given to Wallace, but it's met immediately. Tank Reese, Patterson, Smith, a whole bunch of other Senators in to make that stop.
I'm going to try to pay attention the next time they run a play like that, to try to see what the quarterback's reading on, like who he's reading to decide where he's going to hand the ball off. Or you don't. I mean, that's not a predetermined thing before the snap. You don't think, is it?
Well, that's a good thought. I mean, he's got 3 different options. Well, if he's going to hand off to 22, he's got to turn his hips a different way and stuff like that. It probably is preconceived. Now he's got 2 men in the backfield this time. Gaston kind of lined up. Kind of interesting, more as a blocker, and that play once again swallowed up Caleb Smith. Thank you very much. Big loss.
Oh, man, Caleb Smith, he's got some long arms, and he put them to use right there. Stretched out, got a hold of that running back, and did not let go. Nice job.
Well, what was once a very promising drive for Whitehall is, once again, it's looking like a 3-and-out as Wyatt Golden, also playing the punter, set to send this football away. Of course, in situations like these, you need just something. You can never not account for the trick play here. Golden, he will punt it. Solid punt. Goes over Frampton's head, lands out of bounds right about the 32-yard line. Actually, they're going to say 34. So the Senators, solid field position for their 4th offensive drive of the ball game. And look, we've been seeing very quick scoring drives. Do you think that I want to say that offensive possession for the Bulldogs might have given them some life, but then again, they had another 3 and out. So what do you think we see here from the Bulldogs?
I mean, if you're the Bulldogs defensively, if you're a player out there or a coach on the defensive side of the ball, you got to be telling your guys, hey, if we can just stop these big plays, we can actually start getting a rhythm. We haven't even gotten a chance to be out there for more than a play yet. You guys have got to stop this big play momentum that they have.
Man in motion. It's Deuce. He's going to get the football now. He's got some blockers. He's got a lot of room to run. Breaks a tackle. And he's finally brought down by the Bulldogs. Solid tackle there by Kylan Gregg.
It's going to be hard to stop those running plays when the guy running the ball doesn't get touched until he's at the second level. I mean, that spells disaster for the defensive side of the ball if he's getting all the way up to the second level before he's even touched.
Now they're knocking on the door of the red zone with 4 minutes left to play in the period. Frampton and Grimes, the receivers on the left. Warrior Benson on the right. Deuce Williams, the running back. Simpson over the middle to Grimes. He's got some room to run. He gets flipped, but that will be enough for another UAMS first down.
High-flying Grimes going all over the place. Just keep moving the chains. That's exactly what you want to see if you're the head coach, if you're Coach Updegrove.
Bryce Young Cunningham comes in as the running back. The receivers switch sides of the field. 1 on the left, 2 on the right. 3:56 left to play in the first. Simpson thrown 2 passes, has 2 completions. Ball security is key, and he's done a good job so far. Simpson out on the outside to Warrior Benson. Stiff arm. Oh, man, he's in for the score. Touchdown, Senators.
The plethora of weapons that this Senator team has sometimes it just seems like a never-ending well. I mean, he could just keep going, keep throwing different guys out there. Everybody's so talented that they can all produce great plays like that. I am just so impressed by the talented options that this team has to go to on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Warrior Benson, 3rd touchdown of the season. Of course, he's committed to the University of Central Arkansas to play receiver. He's pretty good on defense himself, but William Tate knocks in another First Community Bank extra point attempt. And speaking of First Community Bank, let's hear from him. First Community Bank is proud to serve the Little Rock community. We offer personal service and expertise and a full range of financial services that meet your needs. For all of your banking needs, First Community Bank has you covered. And if you need help figuring out which product is best for your needs, our knowledgeable and friendly staff are ready to help you find the best solution for your situation. First Community Bank, where community comes first. And slightly slower drive right there. Slightly. What was it, 3-4 play drive?
Hey, that's improvement for the Bulldogs defense so far this game. That they were out there for a little bit longer trying to hold them to less bigger plays. They're moving in the right direction.
Back to receive for the Bulldogs. Xavier Wallace had a first down on their last offensive drive. He was their top rusher, or returning rusher, behind Kylan Davis last season. And 388 rushing yards, 5 yards a carry. And he'll let that kick go into the end zone for a touchback.
So this is my first game calling for Robinson this season. You've called for him all year long. At this point, you've got to be kind of used to seeing that type of scoreboard because the Senators have just been dominating week in and week out.
Yeah, it was like that against Watson Chapel, a running clock for the entire ball game. And this was probably about the score at the first quarter, if I want to say. I mean, Jacksonville was the same thing. even Pulaski Academy. First win against the Bruins in school history, and it was another kind of high-scoring affair. I mean, when you look at the points they've scored this year, if I want to say 34 is the least they've scored. That sounds not like a lot, but in reality, that's a lot of scoring right there, and that's the least you've done so far. I mean, this is a team that's scoring 44 points a game. You're absolutely right. This is nothing new as Golden will hand off, and that's met immediately. My goodness. Have mercy, Campos.
My goodness, man. Campos might as well he's setting up camp in the backfield right now. Absolutely. Mr. Campos is all over it.
Look, the running plays were working that last drive, and I think the Senators have an idea of what the Bulldogs are running here. 2 receivers on that right side, 2 on the left. Keep an eye on the 2 running backs, including Wallace, number 7, in the slot. 1 running back is Gaston to the left of his quarterback, Wyatt Golden. He's only thrown 2 passes tonight. We might be seeing another passing play here. Man in motion. He's going to pass over the middle. He's got his man complete. It's going to be enough for a first down, I believe. Yep, that will be a UAMS first down. I believe just the second of the night, as that was number 27, Dravion Mixon, the sophomore, getting that first down. So there we go, the passing play.
Hey, no, that's what I was talking about earlier in the ball game. You're going to have to rely on Golden if you want to get this ball moving on this talented defense for the Senators.
Shotgun formation again. Golden looking left, got it to his running. Oh, and he's met immediately. Gaston's hard to bring down, but no problem there. Trying to see which Senator that was that brought him down. I think that was McAdory. Aaron McAdory, it sure was, making that big stop. Or maybe that's Damon Sally. We had this problem last year. Whenever they wore those gold letter numbers. Okay, that was McAdory. Okay.
Hey,
man,
nice.
It's hard to see up here.
It is a little hard to see up here. Hey, props to number 26 for the Bulldogs for taking that hit.
Yeah. And big collision. That was Tank coming in and Mixon hurting. That was a hard hit he took right there over the middle. That's kind of what you call a hospital pass. That was dangerous, and he's down and he's hurting.
Well, they tend to him on the field. You know, I was talking to my friend the other day about the term hospital pass. I think that's just I don't really like that. I don't really like that term at all, because the reason I say that is because the wide receiver's job, I mean, you're going to get hit. I mean, that's kind of that's in the end all be all is you're going to get hit. That it's football. That's what happens. I mean, if the pass is complete, I don't know. Just saying hospital ball is, I don't know. I don't really like that term. I think it's just I think it's a little bit of a bailout term for. I think it's a weird term that people use against quarterbacks that I just don't think it's very fair to the quarterback, because those guys are going to get hit. That's kind of their job.
But in a situation like that, wouldn't you think that the quarterback might have the idea, I need to protect my receiver? That's a risky pass. He's met immediately, and it's good to see that he's up. I mean, but there were 2 defensive backs. Whether he came down with that football or not, that was going to be a huge hit.
You're not wrong. I think that does need to be going through your head, but I don't think that's sometimes you've got to move the ball, and whether your receiver is going to get hit or not, sometimes it's win or lose the ball game type of situation. So I just don't think it's quite the best term to use against quarterbacks. Like I've heard it used, not just you, a lot of people I've heard use that term.
Right. That's going to be a big pickup. It will be. Are they going to give him the first down? I thought he was going to be short. Yep, they're going to give him the UAMS first down off a big-time run. The Bulldogs going fast here. 2 running backs in the backfield. And I think we may have a timeout. Yeah, I think the Senators might have called timeout. A little late substituting one of their defensive players. So that will be the first timeout taken by the Senators. Well, again, while we have a second, let's hear from one of our sponsors. When orthopedic injuries happen, get expert care now. At UAMS Health Ortho Now, we provide fast, convenient care for all of your orthopedic needs, from sports injuries to joint pain and beyond. No appointment is needed. Walk in for immediate care, get on-site x-rays, and see the best in orthopedic care all in one place. Ortho Now is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon, conveniently located at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. Don't wait in pain. Walk in today. For more information, call 501-686-TOSH. That's 501-686-8674.
Seems like the Bulldogs have something working for them on offense right now.
It's that formation with the 2 or the 3 running backs in that backfield. You're right.
Which I want to call it the wishbone, but I don't think that's what it's called.
No. Handoff again to Gaston. Oh, he's got a lot of room to run. Takes that hit hard, but he got plenty. First down and more.
Gaston, the bowling ball, just rumbling his way down the field and just bowling over guys. He knows how to take a hit. He knows how to give one, too.
Absolutely. Of course, like you said, Gaston, a bowling ball. The senior, he's 6 foot, 260 pounds. So that is not a guy you really want to see coming at you with the football.
Talk about some speed for that size.
Absolutely. I mean, I suppose that's why he's playing running back as Golden. It's a lofty to McIntyre, but brought down by the Senators. What a play. That's Kyron Grimes with the interception.
Man, Golden threw that one up thinking that his wide receiver was going to be able to battle for it, and it didn't really it didn't really work out for him. The Senator defender was all over him on that play, and in the perfect space to get that interception.
I think he also just got there before the receiver did.
Mm-hmm.
And McIntyre really didn't have much of a chance, and the first turnover of the game, now that I think about it. So the Senators will have the football at their own 24. They're up by 4 scores. Still 1:07 left to play in the first quarter. Warrior Benson on the far side. Frampton and Brown on the near side. Running back as usual, Deuce Williams. Actually, that may be Cunningham. Not 100% sure. Braylon Brown's going to get the football here off the jet sweep, and it won't get much. Maybe a yard or 2 on that play.
I couldn't see the number. That wasn't Deuce. I thought that was Deuce.
Well, not.
Maybe it is. It's kind of hard. You're not wrong. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, the white jerseys with the gold numbers. Not. They look nice up close and personal, but when we're a few 100 feet away, it's kind of tough. Frampton, Brown, Warrior Benson, the receivers on the field. 2nd down and 7. Oh, what a fake there. First time they pulled that out, that was Bryce Young Cunningham that got that carry on 2nd down. Did you see that? That was neat. The fake throw and handoff at the left hand.
Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's always a pretty play to watch when it's successful. It's one of the I think one of my more enjoyed trick plays to watch for sure.
And the quarter will come to an end. Your Joe T. Robinson Senators with a big lead, up 28-0 against the hometown Whitehall Bulldogs. Well, don't go anywhere. We still have more first half of action here on the Robinson Sports Network.
PCSSD is a family-like environment. There's always smiling faces. There's greeting in the morning and the afternoon. They get a lot of involvement, not just parent involvement, student involvement, staff involvement, and I love all of that. I chose PCSSD because I was zoned here, but what made me stay was the support that we receive as a family.
And the best part about the day is my son come home with a smile on his face, that he enjoys school and excelled in the classroom. It's real big to our family.
And welcome back to the second half of action. Your Senators with a 4-score lead over the Whitehall Bulldogs. And, of course, you haven't seen this formation this year, but in the backfield, along with Deuce Williams, Dominio Patterson, and Jackson Redmond, Patterson's gotten the football a few times that way, but Deuce Williams off the big stiff arm gets hit and goes out of bounds, but a big pickup on that UAMS first down.
Dominio Patterson catching that edge, setting it, and then setting up Deuce Williams with a one-on-one situation, and we all know who's going to win those one-on-one situations. It is very hard to bring that man down. And,
absolutely.
And if you can get him in that situation, a good chance it might be going to the house.
Williams still the running back. Simpson trying to get the Bulldogs offside. Looks at the sideline. 1st and 10. To the outside, Warrior Benson. He's got a lot of space. Oh, he's trying to juke him out. He's got enough for that first down. And Warrior Benson, he's a big body receiver, but he definitely is pretty limber, can move well. Actually, they're not going to give him the first down. They're going to say he's short, so we'll be second and maybe inches.
I think if he would have fallen down right when he caught the ball, it would have been a first, but he kind of danced around, and they moving him back a yard.
Cunningham, the running back now. Definitely seeing him a lot more in the first half than we've seen him in weeks prior. 2nd and short, but they're going to throw here. It's going to be a deep play. Downfield, Frampton again, yes! Hakeem Frampton with the juggling catch. Touchdown, Senators, 3rd passing TD of the day for your QB1.
Oh, my goodness. What an arm from Simpson. I mean, on the money. That's 2 passes that was 40-plus yards down the field that he has just gotten right in the bucket. Nice job. Nice pass right there, and nice catch by Hampton. I know it was a little bit of a juggle, but he secured it before he went out of bounds.
And Coach, I spoke with Coach Updegrove, and he was, one of the priorities was to get Frampton the football. And they have been trying week after week. Well, 2 catches, 2 scores. They've certainly made up so far as Tate knocks in that First Community Bank extra point attempt, and now 35-0. So that is quite the score in the first half in front of this now quiet home crowd.
Maybe I might be an old head. You probably don't know who this guy is. When I say old head, I mean I like a lot of older music, and every time I hear that last name Frampton, all I can think of is Peter Frampton, which you probably don't even know who that is. He's like one of the best guitar players of all time from from the 70s. Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Huh.
I sound old right there. I'm not that old. I'm only 28, so I'm not. It's not like I was not born in the 70s. I can promise you that.
I'll have to look him up. I've never heard of him.
He's pretty awesome.
Good to know. Is Hakeem Frampton as cool as he is?
I think I think they're about neck and neck now.
Yeah,
I mean, after that catch right there, they're about neck and neck.
I got you. Tate ready to kick this one off again. He's been booting it to the end zone so far tonight. Can never not account for those short kicks, though. It will be an onside kick, and the Bulldogs have it. They read it perfectly, and right there, the jump on the football is number 21, Wesley Center, the senior wide receiver.
You can tell Coach Patton had his team working on the onside kick all week long to make sure that they were prepared for whenever the Senators decided to break it out, and great job to jump on it, and great preparedness by the Bulldogs.
Now they'll have the football at the 49-yard line, and for a lot of teams it's like, oh, we just gave them really good field position, but the defense has been outstanding this game and this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have to say you're pretty confident in your defense if you're willing to do an onside kick in the middle of the game. You know you're going to come up with the stop, even if they're on your side of the field.
You're right. I think they're kind of getting in dangerous territory right here because we've seen Golden make some really successful throws about in the mid-range level. But if he can start getting those deep bombs to work out for him, this is the kind of situation you want to be in if you're the Bulldogs for that.
And that play read beautifully, and no gain right there. Couple Senators in on the stop, including Aaron Freeman getting some early playing time in the first half. Under 10:40 left to play in the first half. Bulldogs letting this play clock run down a little bit. Gaston is the running back next to Golden, the quarterback. Man in motion's McIntyre. Golden looking over the middle. Got it to McIntyre for the first time tonight. Pretty solid pickup on second down. That will bring up third and let's say 4. We're going to say 5 right there.
A guy in the chat right now, Mr. Clark Miller, asking, you're up 35, why onside kick it? Well, you've seen, especially in today's game at the higher levels, aggressiveness is what wins ball games. And, they might not need the onside kick right now, but being prepared for when you need it later on in the season is huge.
And great tackle there by Grimes, going low on Gaston there, and that will bring up fourth down after just the 1 yard pickup. But everything's indicating the Bulldog offense is going to stay on the field right here. It is fourth down with 5 to go. They're on the 44.
Yeah, Chris, I think that's the right decision. I think you need to stay out there and let your offense have a crack at getting this first down.
Actually, the Bulldogs are going to call the timeout. They're going to talk some things over, but, like you said, probably, is this the first time the Bulldogs have been on the Senator side of the field?
I think they were close. Yeah, okay. They were close in the last drive. I'm not sure if they actually crossed it or not, but they were pretty – they crossed it. They crossed it about 5 yards past. They went to about the 44-yard line.
Okay. Well, they're certainly – they're working on this drive right here. This has been one of their better drives.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well go for it. You have nothing to lose. You're down 35-0. 9:14 left to play in the second quarter. Bulldogs coming off a loss at BB, which is where Robinson will be next week, taking on the Badgers. Of course, the Badgers played them tough last season, and what ended up being a very tight game, so they're hoping. And it's going to be stopped on fourth down. Turnover on down, second turnover of the ball game.
It's hard to sneak one past this Senator defense. They are just tough, top to bottom. Secondary, defensive line, linebackers, they've got talent all over this defense. And when you're trying to go for it on fourth down, you got to expect that you're going to be met head on, and that's exactly what happened.
I'm surprised they went with the running play there. I would have thought maybe the passing play, but what do you think about that play call?
I think maybe Coach Patton thought he was going to be able to sneak one by the defense. They're all thinking, it's going to be passed, but they were ready for that run up the middle. It's kind of hard to sneak something past a defense that doesn't really have to blitz to get pressure on the run with the talented defensive line like they have.
That's true. 3 receivers on the right side. It's Todd, Grimes, and Warrior Benson. 1 on the left. The running back is Cunningham, so we may have seen the last of Deuce Williams for the most part this game. Probably going to see a whole lot more of Bryce Young Cunningham. Now running back, it's going to be more Simpson throwing the football as Petty's going to have enough for the UAMS first down and quite a bit more.
Do you know what the score was last week to their game against BB?
That's a good question. I don't actually know. Let's consult Google right quick.
I think it was pretty close, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall though. On the right side. Oh, he's going to stretch it all the way out. Nice job by that Bulldog defense to run it all the way into the sideline and not give him any room to run. That was number 20, Bryson Cunningham on the run.
Hey, you're not wrong. 32-14. I mean, they were able to get a couple of scores, and the Whitehall offense just has not really been clicking this game or this season so far, and that was one of the things that Coach Patton discussed. I mean, they have talent on both sides of the ball. They just don't have depth. Yeah. And you look at the sideline, this looks like the team you travel with.
For sure.
They just don't have enough guys. As Cunningham's got a big hole that opened up for him, and I think he's got enough for another UAMS first down.
And Coach Patton, I mean, you're not wrong. It's hard to be successful at this level of Arkansas high school ball. The 5A conference is there's no slouches in it, and if you don't have the depth to be able to replace guys if they get banged up or hurt, or be able to cycle guys in and out throughout the ball game to keep fresh legs in there, it's going to be tough to win ball games.
Simpson throwing to the outside. It's Petty again. Petty breaking past one tackle, but finally brought down after about a 2-yard gain. So Petty, his second touch of the night.
Yeah, that's my uncle right there in the comment section. Ryan, he's talking about his concert, seeing Peter Frampton. I told you, man, he's a legend.
I got you. All right, I'll take your word for it. The 2 catches for Petty tonight. He has, coming into this game, just 2 catches all year. So big half from the junior. Reese Simpson back to the receiver. It's Warrior Benson picking up another UAMS first down. So the passing plays working beautifully for the Senators.
I've been very impressed with Simpson's arm. He's been dialed in, whether it's the deep ball, the mid-range. He's really timing his passes very well and getting it there quickly to make sure nobody else has a shot at getting the ball other than his receivers.
Well, I mean, but you also look at that outside. I mean, Warrior Benson's made some plays. He's got a lot of space, though.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's, you don't want him to go over the top of you, but still. Todd. And he's going to be tackled by 4 or 5 different Bulldogs right there. His first catch of the evening, but they're giving these Senator receivers a lot of breathing room. They're able to dance around and make some magic happen, and that's definitely been part of it.
Well, if they don't do that, it can turn out like the first quarter did, where it's just touchdown, touchdown, touchdown on giant plays. You kind of have to force everything in front of you and make sure they're not getting the deep ball on you, and maybe you might be able to force a turnover. I think that's probably the thinking that they're having as a coaching staff for the Bulldogs.
And Frampton, he's not going to be touched. Another touchdown for the Senators. Touchdown number 3.
It's a flag on the field.
Yep, flag in the backfield. That one will be coming back. The second time a Frampton score's been brought back, unfortunately. Would have had 4 touchdowns so far tonight if it weren't for the penalties. We'll see what the official call is. It will be a false start by the offense. So they'll repeat the second down, but they've been backed up quite a bit. 6:42 left to play in the first half. 2nd and 11, though.
I'm seeing some long sleeves being broke out tonight. It's starting to feel like football weather. I think it's
getting there.
I think it's going to warm up next week, though, unfortunately.
And I thought we saw the last of Deuce Williams. Not. Actually, I believe that is just the first incompletion of the ball game. Simpson has been incredibly accurate, but the Bulldogs read that play beautifully. That brings up 3rd and long.
That was a really dangerous pass right there by Simpson. If the defender would have looked up and to his left, he was right there to make the interception, but he was too focused on Deuce Williams, which it's kind of hard to take your eyes off Deuce Williams. You've got to be locked in.
Absolutely, and you're probably going to miss the tackle anyways. It might as well be the first one to touch it.
Right.
3rd and 11. 2 receivers, left side, 1 on the right. Simpson looking left. He's got a man open for a brief moment. It's Grimes. He will be short of the first down, but the Senators have been very aggressive all year long in the red zone. they're not even going to try. They're not even going to think about kicking this field goal.
I'm not surprised. I kind of expected them to go for it right here.
First fourth down trip of the evening for Robinson. Keep an eye on Akeem Frampton on that near side. He's got a one-on-one matchup. And actually, we're going to have a timeout by the Senators. So the second timeout taken by Coach Up this half.
You know, I see some Senator fans traveled pretty well tonight as well.
Well, yeah, very well. Of course, it's only 40 minutes down the road.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not too bad of a drive.
No, not bad at all. But they're definitely, they have to be loving what they're seeing right now. I mean, 5 scores in the first half. Incredible offensive output, but the defense has been incredible as well, which I think we're all just kind of used to by now.
Yeah, you know, there's a reason that the goose egg is on the scoreboard a lot for the opponents of the Senators, and it's because their defense is so talented. A lot of the teams that they've played, including this one, they've got talent on the other side of the ball at certain positions, but it's really hard to overcome a defensive line like they have and the talent that they have in the defensive secondary. I mean, it's just littered everywhere. You've got D1 talent. The two different guys out there that have potential to play D1 or are going to play D1, and some other guys that are probably going to be getting some offers here soon.
Absolutely. Simpson under center. Oh, it's going to direct snap to Deuce Williams. Deuce, that was a broken play, but a touchdown to Linux Campos. Oh, my goodness. We've been waiting for this all year. Deuce Williams has had a score on special teams. He's had a score in the receiving game, the ground game. He's had a score on defense. Now he's got a score as a passer. We've been waiting forever. What a play call.
Wow. What can this man not do? Deuce Williams, he's all over the field tonight. I'm blown away by this guy. Such a great talent to watch in person.
Look, I mean, we watched him last year, and he was great. I mean, I'm looking at his stats. I mean, he was definitely a guy that he was all over the field at 442 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns, had 3 receiving touchdowns, 244 receiving yards, 233 return yards, on top of his 52 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries. One was for a touchdown, 5 interceptions. But this year he's just so much better. Of course, he's playing more running back than he is safety this year. But, man, his fifth 3-touchdown or more performance. I mean, just incredible.
So you were listing off the types of touchdowns he's had. Has he had a pick six or a fumble recovery for a touchdown this year? I think he had one. He had one last year against Jonesboro, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Has he got one this year?
Let's see. Oh, there's been a lot. Let's see. My notes. He has had a pick six. That was against Watson Chapel.
So he had a pick six this season?
Yes, he had a pick six against Watson Chapel. And
I mean, that's got to be
had 2 pick sixes, rather. 3 return touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. Now, 10 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown. I don't know if he's recovered a fumble, though. Not this year for a touchdown. I don't believe he has. Okay, so Deuce still has a lot of work to do. He's got to force a fumble and then recover it and take it to the house. That's his homework, as Tate will put it back up, and that one is good. Senators up 42-0.
I'd like to see the record books for the Robinson Senators. Because there's no way he's not going to break a record for most touchdowns this year or some rushing yards. He's going to break some type of record for this high school, and I want to know what it is.
Well, usually the AAA, after the season's over, or even after a week, they update their record books. I mean, by now, I would think that Deuce has shattered some records. I mean, he is the most valuable player on this team because it's not like he's just only getting in the end zone rushing. He's doing it everywhere else.
Yeah, for sure. It's. I think you can easily argue he's the best. Probably the best athlete on the Natural State Sports Networks. At least I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he is extremely talented. I'm seeing him in person has kind of. I'm more impressed than I thought I was going to be seeing him in person. Like, I knew how good he was. I've seen him on film, and he's like, even in person, it's still like, oh my goodness, he is something else.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I wonder if his dad's listening. Of course, his dad, great NFL player, Kevin Williams, played in the NFL for a bunch of different seasons, 12 seasons, one of the best players in Minnesota Viking history. I'm going to go out on a limb. It's going to be ultimate hot take right here, so go ahead and write it down. Deuce Williams may be the best athlete between him and his dad, and that is saying something because his dad was an NFL player. But seeing what we're seeing, okay, maybe not the best athlete, but he's definitely the most, because I'm probably going to catch some flack for that, but he's definitely the most versatile between the two. And if his dad wants to come and debate, he is welcome to come up to the press box anytime. We'd love to have that debate. But, I mean, Deuce Williams, just it's hard to argue, though.
You know, I'd love to hear his opinion on that. I think he'd probably agree with you if he was here, if he was talking to us right now. But, that's a good conversation to have. I'd have to go look back at more of his dad's tape to really kind of get an idea of my opinion on that.
Yeah. Same formation with two backs in the backfield. It's going to be handoff again, and not much happening for the Bulldogs on that run. And will be taken back for maybe went back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain for Whitehall. Second and 10 for Wyatt Golden in this Bulldog offense. Golden running to his right, throwing, nobody home. Risky pass, but that will bring up third down.
Another third down for this Bulldog offense. It's got to be frustrating to continue to get stopped on 3 and outs like this.
A lot of new players coming out onto the field for the Senators on defense. About 6 substitutions were made. Primarily the starters coming back on the field to guarantee the third down stop. Shotgun formation, Gaston the running back. Golden thrown one interception today over the middle. Again, nobody home, pressured immediately, and just had to get that one away. But you were right. You made this observation earlier. Senators are not blitzing. Mm-hmm. There's no need to. They're getting all the pressure off the edge, up the middle, and Golden's just flustered, and I don't blame him.
I mean, that's one of the hardest things to play against is when you're on the offensive side of the ball and a defense is able to stop the run and get pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz anybody. The defensive line is just winning the battle on up front at the line of scrimmage. It's really hard to battle against that. And then when you add that on top of these the special talents of these defensive backs, it's, I mean, a recipe for disaster for any offense.
Good punt, bouncy punt. Frampton will have it. He's going to try to make something out of. Oh, he's got a reverse field again. Frampton back towards the middle, and he will be brought down around the 48-49 yard line of the Senators. But once again, Frampton trying to make something happen out of nothing. Got a few yards. So the Senators could be potentially, maybe not, because they've been really quick to score the football so far this game. Could be the last possession. Do you think this could be the last drive of the first half? I mean, there's 4:28 left to play. I was thinking no. Right after I was thinking yes, just because the Senators have been so quick to put points on the board.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
Man in motion. Hand off to the running back. It's Cunningham looking for some room to run. Not much there. Brought down by Gaston. A 3-yard gain for the junior. So 4:05 left to play in the first half. 2 receivers left side, 1 on the right. Simpson looking back at the sideline. Jackson Redmond at halfback as that extra blocker. Simpson, a lot of time to throw. He got it to his receiver. It looks like that's Braylon Brown, who has enough for the UAMS first down.
So in the chat right here, look at this. Derek Williams. He's saying that his uncle, Greg Williams, also played basketball for Arkansas State from 85 to 90.
Oh, well, very neat. All right, so
you can see
another person to throw into that conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's the best athlete, or at least most versatile athlete in that family? My hot take still Kevin Deuce Williams, as Cunningham has the football. He's got a lot of room to run. And will that be enough? Yes, it will be for the UAMS. First down, another one.
I love the speed from Cunningham. You can tell that he could turn on the jets and just leave everybody in the dust if you give him an open field.
I remember him watching him last year in the benefit game against Fountain Lake, and he got a lot of time. Of course, that running back room was so crowded.
Yeah, it was.
With Deuce not even really looking like the best running back. It was Jordan Thomas that definitely looked like the best running back last year. Then you had Nick Abrams, and then Cunningham was kind of running back 4, and he still made some plays, but he showed off that speed in that benefit game, and I knew he was going to be something special, as Petty just will not go down. His 3rd catch of the night. What a game for the junior.
Petty does not go down by a single man. That's something that we all know. He's petty when it comes to his runs, man. That's what he does. He's making sure that it's going to be a gang tackle if he's going down.
Absolutely. So definitely not looking like the last play of the drive for the Senators, as they're really getting close to the goal line. Oh, would have been an amazing grab by Frampton. He had to look over his wrong shoulder, but almost made that catch with one hand.
I was about to be on the floor if he made that catch. That was about to be so spectacular. You can tell that the Senators are kind of starting to wean the clock down a little bit. They let that one get all the way down to about 9 or 8 seconds. The game, the play clock, before they snapped it.
Right.
They didn't seem like they were in much of a hurry right here, but they're definitely going to try to punch it into the end zone here before halftime.
Yeah, give your O-line a breather. They've been working hard this game, as they're going to hand off to Cunningham once again. Oh, he's got a beeline to the end zone, and he trucks a man. Didn't even need to, but touchdown, Senators.
Cunningham shows the speed right there, beats the man getting to the edge, and he gets into the end zone. Nice job by this offensive line to put him in a great situation to beat the guy on the outside. Just great overall effort right there from the Senator offense.
First, believe it or not, first rushing touchdown for Bryce Young Cunningham in his varsity career. Of course, he was elite with that great junior high squad at 27 touchdowns for the junior high squad in 2023. So Tate on to kick the extra point. Campos, it's a high one. Oh, he's got to make something happen, and kind of a disaster right there. That snap too high for Campos, and he couldn't put it down for Tate. So the score will stay right where it is, 48-0 with 2:34 remaining. And while we have a second, you know what it is. Let's hear from one of our sponsors. It's going to be First Community Bank. So when you bank local, everyone wins. That's why we're proud to support the Senators and our community. At First Community Bank, we're all about helping our neighbors thrive, and we know that when you bank local, your money stays right here in town, and which means businesses businesses can thrive and people can get things done. But that doesn't mean it has to stop there. We want to help make sure the Senators are thriving too. And the best way by doing that is by supporting them with your time and money. So go out there and show your pride for the Senators by wearing their t-shirt and cheering them on at every game this season. Go Senators! First Community Bank, where community comes first. So believe it or not, the first miscue by the Senators today, that extra point, but feels fine because they're up 48-0.
Mm-hmm. No, I it's kind of hard to pick apart the film here. I mean, you got to be extremely nitpicky if you're going to find a flaw that from this team, and I promise you, Updergrove is probably going to find the flaw and point it out in the film room over the weekend or on Monday. No matter how much they win by, but
well, and that's what great teams do. I mean, they still find. I mean, the way that Coach Updergrove talks about it, of course, he talks a lot about their successes, but he always makes sure to mention, here's something wrong. I mean, he kind of mentioned to me that Frampton really didn't help out last week as far as, I mean, he definitely helped out. He found the end zone, but he could have found the end zone again. He just dropped the ball, and something that I've spoken to Dwayne Frampton, his dad, who's also one of the wide receiver coaches for the Senators. Great player for the Red Wolves back in his day, but he told us that Hakeem is so dedicated to his craft that if he drops a ball in practice, he stays late, catches 1,000 or 2,000 balls or whatever before he goes home. I mean, he's maybe not that many. It's a lot, though. I mean, he's I don't want to call him obsessed, but he's definitely dedicated to his play as Golden's going to go outside and throw, and that's enough for a UAMS first down.
You know, that's you hear about that type of effort in practice and dedication to the craft, like. That's something that you'd hear about, like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, about not leaving the gym until they hit 3,000, something crazy like that. And I mean, that's what the greats do. And props to him for staying late and trying to get be better, because every coach is going to tell you, you can always improve. And it seems like Coach Updergrove has sent that message to this team, and they are very dedicated to trying to improve as a unit.
Well, that's a 16, 17-year-old that's doing something like that. As that pass will get to McIntyre, but broken up by Freeman, who's becoming a star in front of our eyes. Aaron Freeman, the sophomore, has made some big plays on defense this year, and he's really going to give some of the DBs a run for their money as far as playing time.
Freeman didn't do this celebration, but I wanted to. What are your thoughts of the seatbelt celebration that the cornerbacks have been pulling out here lately?
Well, see, I know Arkansas DBs have done it in years past, and they do it and then they get burned and give up a 6-yard touchdown. So, frankly, I'm not a fan of it. When you're successful, go for it, but I've seen it not work many times.
I don't know why. It's like one of my favorite celebrations that I see. I don't know why. I just love it when they do that. It just makes me giggle. I don't know. I like it.
Oh, I do too. I almost have just bad memories.
No, you're not wrong.
Razorback football.
You're not wrong about a Razorback player doing it and then giving up a 80-yard touchdown. You're definitely not wrong with that.
Now, I haven't seen it this year, but it's because they're not making stops on defense, so there's no seatbelt celebrations at all. But enough about the Razorbacks. We'll talk some more about the Senators. No one wants to hear about the hometown Hogs, I guess.
We got a timeout.
And let's see. No, it's going to be a penalty.
False start.
Yeah, we'll be.
Delay
of game. Okay, and we'll be a delay of game on the offense. So they get backed up 5 yards. So we'll be third down and 15 from the 25-yard line.
We're talking about the Razorbacks, but I've heard a lot of some of the other teams around the PCSSD and the Natural State Sports Network have been hyping up the Arkansas State Red Wolves and pushing down on the Razorbacks, and I do not approve. Let me just I'll come out as I do not approve of that.
Really?
I don't approve of that.
Yeah.
Listen, you either lift them all up or you don't talk about them, in my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how the Red Wolves lost really badly to the Razorbacks. I mean, that's not something that I would do. For me personally, I mean, that's just –
Yeah, no, I got you. No, I mean,
you didn't pick up on that. I was talking about that on purpose. I just wanted to point that out there. I'm in the booth. I've been on the field the past few weeks. Haven't really got to throw that out there, so thought I'd let that one slip out.
Yeah.
And that one's for Jay.
Well, that one almost picked off. Would have been the third interception of the game, as Golden just overthrew his man on that first down throw. I will say, with the exception of a few plays over the middle, these receivers have been locked up.
Mm-hmm. No, the Bulldogs have adjusted well to trying to make sure the Bulldogs have tried to adjust to the coverage that the Senators are laying on them. It's very thick, and they're not really getting any kind of open space. It's going to be hard to beat the Senators' defensive backs down the field for sure.
Golden. And that one just behind his intended receiver, and that will bring up fourth down. Actually, nope, correction. Just third down. So 3rd and 10 with 1:18 left to play.
A little behind his receiver right there from Golden. He tried to make the one-handed grab on the turnaround, but he couldn't grab hold of it.
No, and of course he had a Senator draped on his coattails. There was no way he was going to come up with that ball. Frankly, they're lucky it wasn't an interception right there. I mean, it just seems like all these errant passes just could end up right in the hands of a Senator, and he will end up in the hands of a Senator. 85, Aiden Scott making the sack.
Nice job, Aiden Scott, getting back there, and it looked like Golden was about to try to scramble, and all of a sudden Scott came out of nowhere with that. Does he have a cast on his arm? That big club he's got on his hand,
he does.
And he brought him down. Nice job.
Yeah, still made the big play, and that will bring out the punt team for the Bulldogs. Of course, they're going to chat with their coaches first. So they will burn a timeout right there. Senators, don't recall them using 3 timeouts, but it shows they burned all their timeouts. The Bulldogs just have one more left in the half. Just 58 seconds left to go here in the second.
Big shout out to all our viewers out there. Happy that you joined in on this broadcast. My homecoming coming back here after last season. So happy that all you guys are tuned in to the Robinson Sports Network to catch a great game here in the 5A conference.
Couple different Senators back there to receive Aaron Freeman. First opportunity to take a return back, and can't tell the other Senator. Maybe Kyron Grimes as the other one. Golden. He's been punting a lot tonight, but has punted the ball well. No pressure. The high one. And it will be received by the Senators. He's got a hole. Not much of, he's got a reverse field. Can he make something happen? It's Grimes. He's got it to the 50, the 45, the 30, the 20.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Touchdown, Senators. No flags. What a play on special teams by Robinson.
No. I mean, that was bound to happen. The amount of times they were reversing field, that was bound to happen sooner or later, and they finally get one of those reversing field punt returns to be successful for them and take it to the house.
Grimes, his first kick return of the year, takes it back for, I believe that was a 70-yard touchdown for the junior. He is one of the many players for the Senators that is just an incredible athlete. I mean, we talk about Deuce Williams, we talk about Hakeem Frampton, but I think every player in every position on this team is just an incredible athlete. I mean, it just seems like every game a new player is impressing. Tate to kick the First Community Bank extra point attempt. Last one didn't work out, but that one is up, and it's good. Your score, 55-0 with 28 seconds remaining in just the first half. It will be a running clock in the second half, but the Bulldogs looking to escape this first half, and right now it's looking like the highest scoring outing for the Senators so far this year. Of course, one of their best scoring outings was against Watson Chapel 2 weeks ago. It was their highest scoring outing, putting up 58 points with a running clock for all 4 quarters. And we did learn later on that was not intentional. That was, I guess you could say that was accidental. But looking at the last 2 weeks for the Senators, 58 points scored on Watson Chapel at Watson Chapel, 42 put up against Jacksonville at home. And then right now, 55 in just one half against Whitehall.
You know, we've highlighted a lot of players on both sides of the ball for the Senators side. We haven't really given much talk about Tate. You know, he's the younger brother of
John Tate.
Tate. Yeah, if he's got any leg like John, I expect big things from him.
Now, I remember Coach Escola talking a lot about him last year. John had the big leg as the Bulldogs going to have a bit of a return here, gets around to the 26, 27-yard line, but William was definitely the accurate one, and he's definitely been accurate. I think he's only missed one extra point this year. He has missed a field goal, but he's made another one from 31 yards out. I would like to see him kick some more field goals. Of course, their offense is so effective, there's not many opportunities for him to do that, but he is a solid kicker, and of course they'll have him for one more year. And also, he's a fantastic soccer player. I think he was the team MVP last season, if I'm not mistaken. So he's pretty good on that side of on that sport as well. Mm-hmm. So both football sports, if you will.
So let's see if they decide to take a knee or take a shot down the field right here.
Yeah, my personal just run the clock out.
It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Looks like they're going to try to. Oh, no, they are going to.
Yeah, they're going to take the knee.
Strange formation to do that, but.
Well, that will be enough, and the Bulldogs will be able to head into the locker room.
Well, why is the clock not running?
Is it not?
No.
Oh, it stopped. What the?
Why did they stop the clock?
The officials telling them to keep it rolling now.
Now they are.
All right, that was odd. You don't stop a clock on a knee.
Yeah, I don't.
All right, well, clock's rolling, so that will do it for the first half of action here at Bulldog Stadium. Your Senators with the 55-0 lead over the Whitehall Bulldogs. We'll the band here in a second, but we'll have second half of action here on the Robinson Sports Network, so stay tuned after the break.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
It's not just a house, it's a home, and it's part of the neighborhood and of course part of the community, and you want to build stuff that they'll take pride in.
Well, that's where they're making their memories.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where they're raising their families.
Without the bank getting us to that next step, we can't do it.
It's nice to be able to call someone at the bank and say, hey, you've worked with us for all these years. This is what we're thinking about doing. Can we pull the trigger on this today? Oh my stars. It is just so much easier to bank with First Community.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Now, thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
Let's give it up to Whitehall High School Steppers. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome the future of Whitehall football. Taking the field tonight are our youth football teams and cheerleaders, the next generation of Bulldog athletes. Let's hear it for these young players who bring their energy, dedication, and love for the game every week. Parents, make some noise for your players and players. Wave to the crowd as you come out. One day we'll be seeing many of these faces right here under the Friday night lights. First up, kindergarten through second grade cheerleaders. Our second grade cheerleaders are coached by Mickey Hayes and Lacey Hankins. Followed by kindergarten through second grade undefeated football team coached by Joshua Merrick, Spencer Hartley, Andre Orton, Aaron Tyler, Nick Hurd, and Travis Goodman. Let's hear it for kindergarten through second grade. Next up is the third and fourth grade team. Introducing our third and fourth grade cheerleaders, coached by Brittany Braswell and Megan Hurd. Followed by our third and fourth grade football players coached by Braden Bottoms, Brandon Braswell, Gerard Armstrong, and John Dean. Let's hear it for the third and fourth grade. Finally, let's hear it for the fifth and sixth grade football and cheer. Making their way on the field is the fifth and sixth grade cheerleaders, coached by Morgan Cross-Aquillo, Christy Goss, and Danny Lampkin. Followed up by the fifth and sixth grade football team and coaches Dale Nash, Joseph Musgrove, Wesley Jordan, and Dylan Porter. Let's hear it for the 5th and 6th grade. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your kindergarten through 6th grade football and cheerleading. Let's give it a big round of applause for our Whitehall Youth football team and cheer team. As the kids exit the field, we ask that you please get with your parents back up in the stands. Thank you. Next up, we'll have presentations and performances by our Whitehall High School Band and the Robinson Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, set sail with the pride of Whitehall, the Whitehall High School Bulldog Band. The band is led by drum majors Rylan Baker, Aubrey Lee, and Gabby Hanson, and under the direction of Mr. Cameron Willis, Kristen Haynes, and Kelsey Hicks. The Bulldog Band invites you on a bold musical voyage. Their 2025 field show, Uncharted, dives into a world of exploration and nautical adventure. Drum majors, is your band ready? Anchors away, mate, and enjoy the journey.
Gentlemen, give it up for the Robinson Sports Band.
And welcome back to the second half of action here on the Robinson Sports Network. Your Joe T. Robinson Senators have the massive lead after 2 quarters of play, 55-0, and now Whitehall looking to try to make something happen, get some momentum here on the kickoff return. Not much happening there. A 10-yard return getting up to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, this is it's not working out for the Bulldogs. A great game by the Senators. They're not going to be the only team that looks like this against the Senators all year long. I promise you that.
Yep.
The Senators are very talented, and it's going to be a running clock for the remainder of the game for the sportsmanship rule. And you know, if you're the Bulldogs, you just got to find some kind of high points in the game to build on and try to come back strong next week.
Yep, you're looking like 0-6 so far this year. You have to find, like you said, you have to find something you can take into next week as Golden flushed out of the pocket, throws it incomplete, bringing up 2nd and long.
you know, and on the flip side of things for the Senators, you want to come out here, and I'm sure there's probably, I can't really tell. I'm guessing a lot of these guys are.
The second stringers mostly out there.
Second stringers. This is where you build the depth. Get these guys used to playing, and because you never know, crazy things happen on the football field. Next thing you know, you're thrown into the starting lineup, and you got to be able to go out there, execute some mistake-free football, no matter what's going on.
Big time breakup from the Senators. Believe that was number 28, Zach Bush. It was either Bush or. No, I think that was Evan Hill that made that breakup right there. He had a great game against Jacksonville. He was one of those guys that benefited and showed out when he got more opportunities to play. We'll see if he continues to keep that momentum up. But Golden, it's 3rd and 10. Throwing, got his man. It's McIntyre. Not enough for the first down. Got about 7 yards on that catch, but wrapped up immediately. It's 4th and short. Let's see what the decision is here. I think they're going to keep the offense on the field. What do you think of this move?
I mean, why wouldn't you keep the offense on the field? I mean, with a score like this, if you're Coach Patton, go out there and just keep running plays. I mean, at this point, what do you got to lose?
Oh, that snap. Surprise Golden. Had to get it, and Scott with a great breakup with his non-casted hand, and that will bring out the offense for the Senators off that turnover.
That was just a great read by Scott. You know, you don't see a lot of underclassmen making a read like that and catching the screen before you leave and you know go after the quarterback to read the screen and turn around and cover the guy. I mean, that's an impressive play. Something that defensive coaches salivate over all at this level and the next.
Jake Zanhan looks like the quarterback out there for the Senators. And it's going to be a run up the middle. Maybe Bryson Cunningham, who had a great first half. Let's see. They've been using a few different running backs. That second string does look like that was Cunningham that had the 4-yard carry. But Aaron Freeman, one of the receivers that comes out there now, along with, looks like number 27, Trenton Coleman. His first appearance of the year. Zannan. Oh, he's looking to the end zone. He's got his target. Incomplete. Great coverage by the defensive back for Whitehall.
I wonder who came up with this Bulldog logo. You know, this Fayetteville has the same exact logo, except it's purple.
Yeah.
I wonder where this Bulldog logo started.
That's a good question.
Random thoughts from Jake.
Throw to the outside, and that receiver was down on the ground. Got hit in the butt, and I think that was Petty that Zanhan was looking for. Now that brings up 4th down. And looks like the field goal unit's going to come out onto the field here for the Senators. Of course, Grant Treader is the backup kicker. But I think it will be William Tate that will be kicking this field goal here. Again, cannot see from here if that's 99 or 98, but if it is 99, it will be just his 3rd field goal attempt of the season. It's a long one. Kick is up, and it's got the leg. It's good. The Senators knock in the first Community Bank field goal.
Always good to see a decent long field goal go through the uprights. That's pretty long for this level of play. That was a nice kick.
Well, Tate breaks his previous long of the year of 31, and now he's 2 of 3 from field goal range this year. And of course, With that, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Here at First Community Bank, we believe that investing in our communities provides us all with a brighter future, and it's something we've been doing since we were founded in 1997. We're proud to support the Senators in everything they do, not just because they're great athletes, but because they represent what makes community so special. People coming together to work hard and make something amazing happen. When you bank local, everyone wins. So go Senators! First Community Bank, where community comes first. And Grant Treader will be the kicker now to kick this one away. The high kick will be returned by the Bulldogs. And, he's got a lot of room to run.
Oh.
He's got the kicker to beat, and he's pushed out of bounds. But probably the play of the night so far for Whitehall.
That's, I feel like their special teams haven't been bad. They've covered well, but it's kind of hard to cover guys like Deuce Williams and Frampton. But either way, their special teams hasn't been too awful tonight. That's probably been the bright spot for the Bulldogs, I think, tonight. You want to get a live update on scores?
Sure thing.
For Maumelle, they are beating Watson Chapel 42-0. That's another 5A Central.
Yeah, just down
opponent.
the road from here too. Yeah.
Yeah, just down the road from here. And then Sylvan Hills beating El Dorado 25-7.
Wow.
In the fourth quarter, yeah.
Well, El Dorado coming in as one of the top teams in 6A, and Sylvan Hills just having that miracle run of a year so far, and they're proving they're a legit team in 6A as that pass is broken up by Jake Witten.
They've got some other talented teams in 6A like Greenwood that are going to be tough to beat. Just a killer program over there that they have at Greenwood, but
yeah. Oh, and then Shiloh Christian, I know, is 6A. Is Greenbrier 6A or 5A?
5A.
Oh, 5A. Okay. Well, they have an excellent running back that I've been keeping up with this year, Enoch Hassan. I think Deuce Williams probably the player of the year in 5A, but Enoch Hassan is making a case for himself there. I think he's probably already up over 1,000 rushing yards. Probably already has 20 touchdowns through just 5 games in the year. I mean, he's been incredible. And that run got about 2 yards. It was Xavier Wallace. I believe just his third carry of the night. I've been seeing a lot more Braylon Gaston and Aiden Bitely as the two primary rushers for the Bulldogs, but might get to see a little bit of more Wallace as he was the top returning back from last year's squad. It will be 3rd and 8 for Whitehall. Golden looking deep and almost intercepted by Freeman. Would have been his second interception of the year, just out of between his hands right there.
He dove for it. It just couldn't dive far enough. The quarterback overthrew everybody on that play.
And the offense will stay on the field as they are in Senator territory thanks to that big kickoff return by Bitely. It just hasn't really – nothing else has been happening so far for their offense, and they got to make something great happen right here. 4th and 8. 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Golden looking left. He's got his man, and that is broken up and incomplete. Another turnover on downs for the Bulldogs, and the Senators will have great field position here.
That's another thing I've noticed about this game. It's been mostly penalty free. Haven't seen too many yellow rags on the ground.
Well, those two Frampton would be scores.
Yeah,
but outside of those, you're right. I don't think we've seen, but maybe 5 total.
Pretty clean game overall for both teams.
Petty, of course, has 3 catches so far tonight. Now he's lined up as the running back. And he'll get a handoff here. Petty breaking a bunch of tackles. He's not wanting to go down at all. It's going to take 9 different Bulldogs to bring him down, and he actually doesn't actually go down. So big pickup on first down for Petty. Now bring up 2nd and 6. Under a minute left to play in the third. Handoff again to Petty. He's going to break away. He's got a man to beat. I don't think they're going to get him. 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Senators.
Just another athlete. Oh no, is he going to get called back?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, called it too soon, but unfortunately, Trey Petty would have been his first rushing touchdown of the year. That will be brought back thanks to a holding penalty on the Senators. They'll get the ball moved up just a little bit, so they do make some forward progress there.
Why is the clock stopped? I thought it was supposed to keep running.
Well, maybe when they spot the ball, possibly?
No, I mean, it's supposed to run. Unless there's an injury on the field, I thought it's supposed to run.
Okay, clock's back up. Okay.
Strange.
Just 5 seconds left to play in the quarter. Zanhan. Handoff again to Petty. Oh, Petty, no holdings this time, beating the buzzer into the end zone like it never even happened. Touchdown, Trey Petty.
I'll say what I was going to say when he scored the first time. Just another athlete in this long list over there on the sidelines for the Senators. Just incredible talent, and Petty showing the wheels and the agility to weave in and out of the defenders and find the open hole and take off.
First rushing touchdown of the year for Trey Petty. His second total touchdown of the year. Of course, having a great game. And, of course, with Tank Reese, they're going to play him a bit more on the defensive side of the ball for the rest of the year. So there's got to be somebody else that steps up in that running back room, and it's already looking like Trey Petty will be able to do that. So that first Community Bank extra point attempt is drilled, and I believe that was Grant Treader doing so. I believe the second time this year he's knocked in an extra point attempt. So good to see that the Senators have a pretty reliable backup as well. They'll be ready to kick this one off. So already the highest scoring game they've had this season. We still have one more quarter to play. It'll be a quick quarter, but quarter nonetheless. Of course, next week the Senators will be back on the road. Won't be back at home at Charlie George Stadium until Halloween night, where they will get to face the Pine Bluff Zebras, who are in a new era of football, the Tyrone Jones era, who's taking over at head coach for the rest of the season as the interim. Of course, they're hoping to get some momentum here as they've kind of been struggling so far. But your Senators, like I said, this is the first game of a 3-game road trip. They will be at Beebe next Friday and then at Searcy the Friday after. Of course, the Lions looking like one of the other great teams in the 5A. Of course, your Senators ranked number 1 in the entire 5A classification. Got used to Parkview being number 1. Well, they've had a couple losses. Senators 5-0 on the year, looking like 6-0, as that's going to be a short kick by Treader. Will be received.
Fair caught.
Yeah, will be a fair catch by the Bulldogs. It was Morgan Reese, the backup quarterback, making that catch there, and we'll see what the Bulldogs have in store for us right here. They've had a few moments of success, and then they just quickly get squashed by that great Senator defense.
They've had some good plays here and there, and I think having any type of good play against this defense is something that you should wear as a badge of honor, because this defense is stout, top to bottom. And I think now you just got to keep working on the connection between your quarterback Golden and his receivers. Try to improve that as much as possible to build